Wanted to also touch on the big elephant in the room, which is porn. Because a lot of sort of things I hear about porn nowadays that, I mean, first off, there's a sexlessness crisis. Like young people just tend not to be having sex. Maybe a lot of that is because, well, the sex drive in a man is obviously very important, right? It's kind of one of the main reasons for being is that I want to have sex with people. Okay, how do you have sex with people? Well, you've got to show that you're competent. You've got to show that you're desirable. You've got to show that you command respect. All these kind of things of like actually going out and speaking to people so that I can find someone to have sex with. If we've now got this shortcut in our pockets where realistically, if you spend half an hour on a phone, your brain thinks that you just had an orgy with 80 women, that is doing something to our dopamine. I think the second part of that is, this rise of what they call it PIDE, like porn-induced erectile dysfunction. People then actually go to have sex with someone and can't. What do you think porn is doing to men? If psychologically sex is such a massive driver of men, and now we've got this thing that can basically tick that dopamine box, so we don't have to put in any of the work associated with having sex.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right there. It robs people of that drive. And it's not just porn, it's also testosterone. It's way, way down. I think there is a study that showed that the average testosterone of 25-year-old males now is the same as like our grandfathers at sort of 85. So testosterone levels have gone way down. Testosterone is obviously a driver of of sexual behavior. I think one of the reasons for that is lack of movement. People who just don't exercise. That's why going to the gym is so effective for mental health and for other things, is because it helps you boost your own testosterone. The plasticization of our bodies, that messes with our hormones. Plastics are endocrine disruptors. They found plastics in our genitals, which is causing also fertility issues. And yeah, it's lowering our testosterone as well. Our diets as well. Sugar really doesn't do well with testosterone, so that's bringing that drive down as well. And yeah, porn absolutely is so addictive now, so readily available, and so socially acceptable as well. I guess all of that stigma has been removed. As one of sort of the I listened to Bonnie Blue debating a feminist on Chris Williamson's podcast, and she made some good points there about how she's destigmatizing a lot of these things. And yeah, maybe that's good, but at the same time, is that good for our fertility? Is it good for maintaining a civilization? I don't think it is.
Subscribe for more content.
Yeah, actually, let's stick with Chris Williamson there, because I got to be honest here, I stopped watching Chris Williamson, and the reason I did was because although I found him very helpful in things, I reached a point with him where it's like I can't listen to any more stuff about how to optimize my life. Like, Chris, I'm optimized out. I can't do any more, man. I can't think about this. I can't be a better person. Do you think that there is a lot of pressure on men nowadays? Because they're sort of between a rock and a hard place. What I'm saying, there's this whole mainstream culture. It's like, well, you're just a toxic person that's just out to destroy everyone. So go sit over there and be quiet. But then if you get into that sort of space, before an Andrew Tate, which is like fuck everyone, this space of like, come on, man, like let's sort of better ourselves. Let's understand that there's plastic in our balls, and get to the gym and all that kind of stuff. But does that in itself, after all, become toxic? Because no one can really a man can't optimize himself that much. Like sometimes we're just average.
Yeah. So I've come down from Ben Greenfield to Chris Williamson. So Ben Greenfield is all about optimization. It's, non-stop, blood transfer, was it plasmapheresis? That's what I'm looking into now. So that's basically like having all my blood changed, and I've been listening to a podcast on him. It's peptides, it's red light on your face, on your balls, on every part of your body. So yeah, I used to be like totally obsessed with optimization, and I still am by certain standards. But I've come down from, like, Ben Greenfield was the podcast I used to listen to most because I'm so obsessed with optimization. Ben Greenfield is sorry. Chris Williamson is more like, he has some optimization in there, but then he's also got some politics in there, some sociology, some psychology, some spirituality. So for me, it's like, yeah, it's a step down. But yeah, I pick and choose. I don't listen to every episode of his. it just so happens that he has 2 episodes with, 2 very well-known people that are on this subject.
I guess what I'm saying is once you're sort of on that optimization train, though, it's very hard to stop. Like,